In my last video, I looked at one-color LED strips and how to control them with Arduino. Today, I'm gonna do the same, but for RGB LED strips. Wanna join me? Stick around. RGB LED strips, much like the single-color LED strips I covered in my previous video, are divided into segments. You can cut the strip at designated points, like the ones you see here. Control options are limited. We can change the color, but only for the entire strip at once. Individual LEDs cannot be controlled separately. Each segment contains what looks like a single LED and 3 resistors. So why 3 resistors? Well, that one LED is actually a package of 3 tiny LEDs, red, green and blue, which is where the name RGB comes from. Because we can connect multiple segments to make a longer strip, each color has its own dedicated channel, red, green and blue. We power the strip using the positive voltage pad, in this case labeled 5 volts, since it's a 5 volt strip, and the pads for each color channel. This is the common anode strip, meaning we light up a color by applying a low signal to its corresponding pad. If we are working with just a single segment, we can easily connect it to Arduino. So here is a single segment. I have soldered 4 header pins so I can plug it onto the breadboard. So here is the representation of the single segment of the RGB strip, consisting of red, green and blue channels. We will start by connecting the 5 volts pad on a strip to the 5 volts pin on an Arduino. Then connect the R, G and B pads to 3 PWM capable digital pins. For example, pin 9, 6 and 3. Each color channel in a segment draws about 20 milliamps, which is within the safe current limit for the Arduino pin. So let's do exactly that. We'll connect a one segment LED strip this way and then take a look at the code. So here are a couple of mini breadboards with an Arduino Nano plugged into one of them. Let's plug in our single LED strip segment. Now we can use jumper wires to connect 5 volt pad to the 5 volt pin of the Arduino. Then connect the blue pad to pin 3, the red pad to pin 6 and the green pad to pin 9. We'll write a simple sketch together to control the colors. In the setup function, we need to define 3 pins, one for each primary color, red, green and blue. Interestingly, I discovered that the pad connections on my LED strips are mislabeled. The pad marked green actually controls the blue LEDs and vice versa. This mislabeling is a common issue with inexpensive LED strips available online. It's not a major problem, just remember to account for it when assigning pins in your code. These pins should be set as outputs. To ensure the LEDs are off at the start, we can set all 3 pins to high. Since this is the common anode strip, applying a low signal to a color pin turns the LED on. In the loop function, we can display 3 primary colors in sequence, each separated by a 1-second interval. To display a color, such as red, we set the red channel to low and the green and blue channels to high, ensuring only the red LED is illuminated. We display green and blue colors in the similar way. Let's upload the code and observe the result. There you have it, bright and crisp colors. You can see the color mismatch. Instead of red, green and blue, we see the colors in the red, blue and green sequence. RGB LED strips are capable of displaying much more than just 3 primary colors. By mixing 2 primary colors, we can create secondary colors like yellow, magenta and cyan, and with more complex combinations, we can generate a wide range of colors in between. I am showing just a few examples here. So how do we achieve this? We do it by sending appropriate PWM signals to the 3 pads of the strip to produce the desired color. I have talked about PWM a few times before. Instead of simply sending high or low signals from the Arduino, we use a technique where the signal is high only for a portion of time. This is known as the duty cycle, which defines how long the signal stays high during each cycle. Since we are working with a common anode LED strip, the behavior is a bit different. The LEDs light up when we send a low signal. So increasing the duty cycle actually dims the LEDs, and decreasing it makes them brighter. We send those PWM signals using the analogWrite command in Arduino. A value of 255 corresponds to 100% duty cycle, meaning the signal stays high for a full time. A value of 0 means 0 duty cycle. The signal is always low. And of course we can use any values in between to get varying brightness levels. By sending 3 independent PWM signals, one each to the red, green and blue pads, we can mix both color and intensity to create virtually any color we want. Let's go through few examples. To display red, we would normally send 255 to the red channel and 0 to green and blue. But since we are using a common anode strip, we need to invert those signals. That means sending 0 to red and 255 to both green and blue. We send those inverted values to the strip. The LEDs light up red. For magenta, we need full brightness for red and blue and no brightness for green. So that's 255 for red, 255 for blue and 0 for green. Again inverted for common anode, resulting in 0 to red, 0 to blue and 255 to green. That gives us magenta on a strip. We are not limited to just 0 or 255 values. Take orange for example. It's made up of 255 for red, 160 for green and around 16 for blue. We invert those values and send them to the strip. So that's 0 for red, 95 for green and 160 for blue to get a nice orange glow. The examples I showed here do not account for the mislabeling issue I mentioned earlier. So we are assuming that each pad correctly controls the color it's labeled for. With all that explained, we can now start writing the code. But before that, let's place a small diffusion panel over the single segment LED strip. This will help us to see the colors more clearly and evenly. First, we define the pin numbers, this time taking into account the mismatch labeling on the strip. Next, we set up the table with 9 colors and their corresponding RGB PWM values. In the setup function, we define the pins as outputs. Then we create a function that reads a record from the color table, extracts the 3 PWM values, inverts them for the common anode strip and sends them to the appropriate pins. In the loop we use a for loop to go through each entry in the color table. For each entry we call our custom function to set the LED strip accordingly. After displaying each color we wait for 2 seconds before moving to the next one. The strip is lit. The sketch is going through the list of colors. Looks nice. Before I go any further, you know how at the end of each video I ask you guys for your likes and your subscriptions, the part that you usually skip. I'm not going to do that today. Instead, I have a question to you. Did you enjoy this video? The way it was put together and how it covered the topic? Did you know that I have over 100 videos just like this one covering nearly every Arduino related topic you can imagine? I dare you to scroll through the list and not finding something to strike your interest. And if you do, watch it all the way through and share it with somebody that might like it too. This is the ultimate way to support my channel. Thank you for being here. The code we have written for one segment would also work for more segments, but only up to a point. As we add more LEDs, the total current required increases. While a small number of LEDs is fine, eventually the Arduino pins won't be able to supply enough current safely. To drive longer strips, we will have to change the way we connect things. This means using an external power supply to handle the higher current and using MOSFETs to control the strip, just like we did with a single color LED strip in a previous project. So let's disconnect the LED strip from the Arduino for now. We'll introduce an external 5 volts power supply. Its positive terminal will connect to the 5 volt pad of the LED strip. Then we'll use 3 MOSFETs, one for each color channel. This works the same way as for one color strip, except now we are controlling 3 channels instead of 1. Here's how it's set up. The first MOSFET controls the red channel. Its drain connects to the negative R pad of the strip. The gate connects to Arduino pin through 220 ohm resistor and also to ground through 10K resistor. The source connects directly to ground. The second MOSFET is wired the same way, but its gate goes to Arduino pin 6 and controls the green channel. The third MOSFET connects to Arduino pin 3 and controls the blue channel. This setup allows the Arduino to control the strip using PWM, while the actual current needed to power the LEDs comes from the external supply. Let's also add a potentiometer to control LED strip brightness. I'm not going to build this circuit in real time. It's a bit too complex to do on camera, so here it is already assembled. Let's zoom in and take a closer look at the connections. You can see this female DC jack socket, which plugs into the breadboard power rails. From there, we distribute the positive side of the power supply. We propagate it to the opposite rail, power the Arduino through the 5V pin, and also prepare the connection for the 5V pad of the LED strip. Same with ground, we mirror it to the other side of the breadboard and connect it to Arduino's ground. Next, we have 3 MOSFETs. Their gates are connected to Arduino PWM pins and also pulled to ground just like we showed in the diagram. The sources of all 3 MOSFETs are connected to ground and their drains go to the 3 color pads of the LED strip. Now here is the longer strip with 4 RGB LEDs. I have connected all 4 pads to a screw terminal which plugs neatly into the breadboard. Let's plug it in. The last thing we need to do is connect the potentiometer, which will be used to control the brightness. And with that, we are ready to write some code. Let's do something a little different this time. Previously, we just displayed solid colors. Now we'll create code that smoothly transitions from one color to another. I won't go through the entire code line by line, but I will walk you through the key changes. The variable declarations and the color table remains the same. We still have the setColor PWM function, but this time there are some important changes. Before sending signals to the strip, we read the potentiometer value and convert it into a brightness factor between 0 and 1, where 1 is full brightness and 0 turns the strip off. We use this value to scale the PWM signals sent to the strip. Also, we no longer need to invert the signals, because we are switching the MOSFETs using a high signal to turn the LED on, unlike when we control the strip directly through the color pads. We also add a new custom function to handle the smooth transitions between colors. It requires few parameters: how long should transitions last, how many steps the fade should take, and how long to wait between steps. And here's that function. I will let you figure out how it works. You can find the full code linked in the description below. Alright, let's power this circuit using a 5V power adapter like this one. And there we go, both the LED strip and the Arduino are powered on from the external supply. The color transitions look great. Now let's test the potentiometer to dim the strip and bring it back to full brightness. Works exactly as expected. This exact setup also works with 12V RGB LED strip. The only thing you need to change is swapping the 5V adapter for a 12V one. Everything else stays the same. Well, almost everything. There is one very important thing to keep in mind. Previously, we powered the Arduino by connecting the 5V directly to the Arduino 5V pin. With a 12V power supply, don't do that. It will 100% destroy the microcontroller. Instead, you must power the Arduino through the VIN pin. It has an onboard voltage regulator that safely brings the voltage down to 5V. Also make sure that potentiometer is powered from 5V only. Keep it isolated from the 12V rail. Now here is the 12V RGB LED strip we'll be using. As you can see, in each segment you will find the 3 RGB LEDs along with 3 resistors. we'll be powering it with this 12-volt power adapter. I have taken our original setup and simply swapped the short 5-volt strip for this longer 12-volt one. Next, let's disconnect the Arduino from the power rail carrying 12 volts. Then reconnect the bottom positive power rail, the one used by potentiometer, back to Arduino's 5 volts. Alright, I'm powering everything up. Fingers crossed we don't fry anything. And yes, it works. The LED strip lights up beautifully. Colors are vibrant. And these LEDs are really bright. Let's dim them down a notch. Perfect. And with this, we have reached the end of this video. This is video 2 of 3 in my LED mini-series. The final one will cover individually addressable LEDs and should be available shortly. Once all 3 videos are out, there will be a part of the playlist dedicated to LED strips. The link to that playlist can be found in the top right corner. So check back for updates. I will see you guys in my next video. Ciao!